Hey guys, my name is Brandon. In this video, I'm going to quickly show you how you can easily add another 20K a month to your chiropractic clinic. This is what we use for our clients and it works really well. So yeah, let's hop right into it. But before I can show you what we use, it's important to go over how chiropractors typically get new patients. So we're first going to go into that. So here we go. From the chiros I talk to, it's usually one of three ways. Usually through word of mouth, referrals, Google ads, maybe Facebook ads, and Google search results, right? And essentially, one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to call the receptionist. We're talking about the leads, right? The leads are either going to call the receptionist or they're going to fill out a form. For example's sake, we're going to say they filled out a form. So they fill out a form, and then, of course, the receptionist is going to schedule them to make an appointment, right? Now, let's be honest, the lead is going to, pick up half the time, and then the other half they're not going to, answer. And to be honest, a receptionist, they'll call back maybe one time or two times, but, typically if they don't answer, they're not going to call them back again. And that's solely because, receptionists get busy. They're dealing with patients in person, booking them on the phone when they call in, rebooking patients that were just seen, right? So yeah, that's already going to cut your leads in half just to leads falling through the cracks due to lack of follow-up, right? But for example's sake, let's say this lead was reached by the receptionist and then, the receptionist schedules them, right? Now here we come to the next problem, right? The lead maybe shows up half the time or 75% of the time, and then the other part of the time they don't show up, right? But again, for example's sake, they do show up this time, right? And so the lead shows up for an appointment, and the ideal scene, of course, is they're upsold into a 2K adjustment package, right? So, just from the amount of no-shows there and from due to lack of follow-up, right? You're not only cutting your leads in half, but you're cutting them in half twice. So if you get X amount of leads, you're only actually converting a quarter of those into like actual booked, appointments and new patients, right? So that's typically how it goes. Some clinics are better about this though, right? Some clinics have good no-show systems and they have good follow-up systems. Some are better than others, but this is how we completely combat it and turn the no-shows into like no-shows or maybe one no-show, something like that. So let's now hop into what we do, right? So essentially what we do, we start with this. We run a lead magnet Facebook ad. And if you're not sure what a lead magnet is, it's no problem. A lead magnet is basically when you give something away that has substantial value, you give it away at a huge discount or you give it away for free. So for instance, this example, a chiro exam, consultation, x-ray, and adjustment is going to be pretty expensive usually around $200 to $250 for all of those, right? And we tell our chiros, look, give it away for as cheap as you can, right? It's usually around $50 is what they'll be willing to give it away for, right? And essentially, we're going to run a Facebook ad, designed to bring a bunch of people in, using a lead magnet, right? Because we're going to display that it's a huge, amount of value they're getting at a huge discount. So you're already going to get more leads in, using this method. And same thing as before, the lead's going to go ahead and fill out a form, right? Here are the two key things, though, that we use to combat this. So the first is going to be an automated texting system, and the other one is a dedicated appointment setter just for our chiropractors, right? And essentially, within 1 minute of filling out the form, they're going to get an automatic text, right? And then as soon as they text back, the appointment setter is going to get that, and then they can text them and book them from there. But they don't just text. Our appointment setter also calls the lead within 5 minutes, right, of filling out the form, so we can get them whether they're a hot lead, right? So yeah, and then basically we have follow-up systems from here. This is really the key to it. The key is going to be speed to reaching the leads and the amount of follow-up you do. So we have follow-up systems for texts and for calling them as well, right? In fact, we actually call them up to 6 times before we drop the lead altogether, specifically for this reason, right? You look down here, 95% of all converted leads are reached by the 6th call attempt, right? So what, you're going from maybe, I don't know, yeah, like a quarter of your leads actually showing up to 95% of them showing up. Isn't that crazy, right? Just from these two simple things. It's not nothing complicated. You can do this with your business today. You can figure this out right now, right? So yeah, anyways, my point is we're going to continue now. My point is that they are going to get booked. They're going to get booked for an appointment. Excuse me. We'll definitely get them booked for the appointment, right? And then essentially what happens is they get auto text reminders as well. 24 hours before and 1 hour before, they're going to get a text reminder about the appointment. And basically, this is already going to, kill all no-shows as well. At the very worst, someone's going to, I don't know, have to reschedule. And maybe you'll get one no-show because, it does happen. People do ghost you sometimes. But no, we send out texts, and if we need to reschedule them, we do. But yeah, this basically ensures that all of our leads are going to show up because they're your leads. You earned them. You paid money to get these leads. You should, work them, right? You should work them so that they show up. And then ideal scene, of course, the lead shows up for the appointment and it's upsold into a 2K adjustment package, right? But following this method, right, you're going to get less no-shows from appointment reminders, right? More appointments made due to the amount of follow-up that we do, and just more packages sold in general from patients, coming through the door, for more patients coming in through the door, right? And so you're going from a 50 to 75% rate of leads not converting to only a 5% rate with this method. Pretty crazy, right? So anyways, that's how we do it. Now I want to give you a little example of how this looks. So just give me 1 second. Hey guys, I'm back. So yeah, I want to give you an example of how this looks exactly, comparing the two methods to each other. Let's say, between the referrals, ads, and, SEO results, you get 20 leads in a month, let's say, so they're all going to fill out the form, go through the motions. The receptionist is going to schedule them, right? But due to the leads, some of them not picking up and, the receptionist not being able to follow up a bunch of times, right? Let's say 15, are reached and scheduled, 5 of them are dropped just like that. Right. But yeah, 15 are scheduled. Right. But because there's no like text reminders, right, and rebooking system, right, and follow-ups for the rebooking system, right, again, the lead shows up half the time, and then the other half they no show. So let's say 8 patients show up for the appointment. You go from 15 to 8, just like that. And some of them will reschedule and some of them won't, let's be honest, right? But you want to book everyone as soon as you can, obviously, right? So 8 show up for the appointment. 5 of them are upsold into a package, because let's say you sell 2/3. If you sell 2/3 of, new patients into a package, then, you know what you're doing for sure. So you sell 2/3, and obviously, 5 times $2,000 is, 10 grand. So that's 10 grand a month. And look, there is nothing wrong with that. Thousands of clinics do this every single day, right? They do this every month, right? But let me show you why, what we're doing is so much more superior. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go through the motions here. Let's say, again, 20 leads for the month. You bring in 20 leads through this, right? You're going to go through the motions. They fill out the form. We get in touch with them by text and over the phone, right? And let's say, and because of that, you go from 20 to 19 booked appointments, because we reach our leads. They're your leads that you deserve, you pay for. So we keep them, right? That's kind of our motto, right? But let's say one of them ghosted you, right? It does happen, right? So you go from 20 to 19 booked appointments. Okay, cool. Go through the motions again, right? The reminders are sent out, so there's less no-shows, right? So you go from 19, booked appointments to 17 of them show up for the appointment, because, sometimes they need to reschedule. And like I said, every now and then one person will ghost you. It just does happen, right? So you go from 19 to 17. 17 show up, for the appointment. And like I said, you sell 2/3 into packages, right? So going from 17 to 11 buying packages, right? Or sorry, earlier, 5 patients, bought a package. Now it's 11. And 11 times 2,000 is obviously $22,000. So again, you're going from $10,000 to $22,000 just from this one method, right? You see now why this method is so superior. So I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can find my email in the description if you want to send me those questions. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.